Hey guys, Jonah here, back with another beer review. Now, we got an interesting one today because technically it's from the Good Beer Revolution, but it's not from the box. It's from an extra beer that I ordered as part of my birthday box. So yeah, it's in there, and I have got the tasting notes here, so I'm going to drink it. But it's not actually part of that box. It's part of another box, if that makes sense. Anyway, all will become clear, dear viewer, because it's one of these, the Black Isle from up in Scotland, and it's organic pale ale, which is cool. I did watch another review of the Walrus beer, and a lot of people are not liking that one. And I drank that one, but I didn't record it because I've done a review on it before as part of a Christmas box. So I have had that twice. So if you want to go and find it, type in Walrus into the box, and then you'll find my review of it. But it'll be from, I think, a year ago or something like that. Okay, so this is, let's have a look. Here we go. The Black Isle, pioneering organic craft beer since 1988. We make great tasting beer using only barley and hops, grown as nature intended without pesticides, chemicals, all that nonsense. We care about everything. We care a lot, like Faith No More said back in the 90s. Well, back in the 80s, that one was. Right, appearance, gold, tight white head. Oh, I like a tight white one. We're getting fresh pine and citrus, and we're getting grapefruit and tangerine. Make sure you avoid those pregnant ladies. And this one is 4.5. And this is why it's in this month's magazine, because it's a certified B Corp. Drinking in nature, recycling, reusing, all that kind of damn good stuff. I don't know if I like it's a bit green coloured. I don't know if I like the green as much as I do the black. Because once you go black, you never go back. Back to the crack, or the creek, if you're up in Scotland. Right, let's get this bad boy into a glass. Now, I do also know the hops that are in here. Glass, can, glass, glass, can, glass. Right, but while I'm pouring this bad boy, we've got Pacific Gem, we've got Simcoe, Citra, and Nelson Sauvin. It's going to be in this bad boy. And we've got lager malt in there, which is interesting. We've got some wheat malt and some Munich malt. So lots of wheat, because Munich malt kind of is a bit wheaty, shall we say. And this has been chilling out for a few days. And dear viewer, if you haven't guessed already, this is not my first beer of the evening. I've had 4 beers and 3 ciders already today, and this one is going to be my 5th beer. Head-wise, we are definitely white and fluffy, but I'd say that's about half a finger's head there. And let's do one of these. So there we go, organic. If I put that in front of my face, will it focus on the organic? Oh, it does. As soon as I do that, it might go out and focus on me again. These are the things I have to worry about when I'm making these videos, and I don't worry about it all that much, as you can tell, dear viewer. If you're new to this channel, why not look at my back catalogue and see that I drink a lot of beer and talk a lot of old toot, but it's all for your entertainment, dear viewer. So hopefully you take it as it's given to you. No, take it with a pinch of salt, but don't put any salt in my beer. So I've had salted beers before. Oh, they never seem to, not for me anyway. They never work for me. Okay, let's go in for a sniff. Wow, really fresh, fruity, zesty. Yeah, the kind of lemony zest or grapefruity zest is quite a good shout, actually. But it does smell really fresh, which is good. Things like the Citra I'm not getting on the nose, so I imagine maybe they've used that earlier in the boil, or just to get some bitterness into the beer. I was looking for, now that I know the hops, I was looking for something, and it's that kind of light, I call it high note, that I get from Nelson Sauvin, which is a sort of winey kind of note. White colours, like wine, white wine, really kind of high, fresh stuff. Maybe even a tiny bit of lotus as well, sometimes I get. But it's all really high notes, delicate notes, if you like. Right, let us dive in. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, why don't you click like, please do so. Why not leave a comment down below? That helps me out as well. Both of those work with the YouTube algorithm of doom. But yeah, why not do them both? And it really does help me out. And consider joining the channel at the very least. And you'll never miss another of my reviews. Cheers and beers. Mm. Okay, so the carbonation's quite high, but it's really fresh, really zesty. Not so much of the peel. It's not a very bitter beer, but I am getting those high notes. It's like a wine in a certain way, and that's due to the Nelson Sauvin hops. Um, I am getting that kind of white, lotusy kind of weird thing. What's that? That fruit? I always forget the fruit. It's not gooseberry. It's that kind of oriental fruit, not kumquat, the spiky one. And I always say lotus, and that's not exactly what I mean. It is like that lotus sort of flower, but it's that fruit. And somebody reminded me in the comments a while ago, and it's still not sunk into my head. Not guava. Oh my god, I can't remember what you called. But Oriental restaurants, you have them as a pudding. Lychee, that's what it is. Lychee. Damn it. Yeah, it's that kind of lychee kind of thing going on. Very white. I don't know why, but I always say the high note of my tasting palate is the high note. But if you're thinking something like a white wine, a really light one, a summer wine, if you like, or a spritzer with a little bit of white wine in there, yeah, that is not far from the truth. Little bit sweet, but not too much so. It's not got any lacto or any of that nonsense in there. This is all coming from the malts. And perhaps because it's a lager type beer, even though it's called a pale ale, they're using lager malts, they're using Munich malt. What was the other one? He says, looking over there, wheat malt. So all those kind of high things, but it's coming out with a reasonable amount of sweetness. And I guess that balances the bitterness out. So there's probably a little bit of bitterness coming from the Citra hop, which I guarantee is the one that they've used early on. What were the other ones? Simcoe, yeah, possibly Simcoe earlier on as well, because I'm not really getting that orangey kind of juicy thing. So maybe they used those early, or maybe they used just a pinch. Um, but yeah, fish is a little bit sweet. Um, so it's nicely balanced between the bitterness of the hops and the sweetness of the malts. I'm liking this, and it's organic as well. What's not to like? Let's see if I can dig out some of those other flavors in there. Okay, so maybe there is a touch of juice, maybe there is a touch of Simcoe there, but it's right up front, right at the beginning, and it's mixing for me with the carbon dioxide that I got from my initial taste. So what tends to happen, especially if you chill your beers down with a pale ale, obviously that's some people like chilling them down. Some people like a bit more cellar kind of temperature. This is probably about 5 degrees. And maybe if it was in a cellar or in a cask, it would be somewhere about 10 degrees, 11, 12 degrees, something like that. So I'm a bit cooler than perhaps it should be to get my taste on board properly. Those people in camera wouldn't like me putting my beers in the fridge, but alas, it's what I do. Um, so yes, what happens is at cooler temperatures, the carbon dioxide gets absorbed into the liquid, and that's when you open a can of beer, it gets really fizzy, um, and it's in suspension here. So when I drink, I'm getting a carbon dioxide kind of burn on my palate because it's quite fizzy. Ooh. And it also makes belches happen just like that. But what I found now is, and as I'm getting towards the bottom of the glass, there's less carbon dioxide. It's kind of come off. It's what's that word? Not eviscerated. Jesus, um, has been expunged. Is that a word? My God. Anyway, the carbon dioxide has come out of suspension in the liquid, turned into its gaseous form. There you go. That's a nice word for you as well. Um, but yeah, you do get a bit of carbon dioxide burn. What I'm thinking is the Simcoe, which is giving that orange kind of zestiness, fruitiness, is right up front as well. And it's mixing with that carbon dioxide. So this last sip should be, he says, swirling the glass, because there isn't that much. There's a nice line there, but there wasn't anything else in there. No head watch today, guys. So if I try and get some of the carbon dioxide out of suspension, hopefully I'll be able to get a hit of that Simcoe hop, which always gives me orange, kind of juicy orange, and that'll come really up front before all those more subtle things that I was actually looking for. They're in the kind of the mouthfeel and off towards the aftertaste and that kind of stuff. Cheers and beers. Yeah, it is there. It's a little bit bitter, like a bitter orange, but it dissipates really quickly as well. So it is there, and then whoosh, it goes. What I am missing though is the greenness from the citra hops, which is supposed to be in here, um, which is a bit weird. Anyhow, there we go. Black Isle Organic Pale Ale at 4.5%. That is a really good beer. I have been slightly drunk Unclejona, drinking beers for your entertainment, dear viewer. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and don't panic because I will be back, hopefully a little bit more sober, with another beer review real soon.